Is there a double standard at the highest levels of law enforcement? Joining me now, the editor-in-chief of the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro. Welcome back, Ben.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So what do you make of this letter signed off by 11 congressmen and one woman?
So I obviously agree that there is a double standard applied by the FBI and the DOJ between the Obama days and the Trump days. It's pretty obvious that the FBI and the DOJ, particularly the DOJ under President Obama, were operating as adjuncts to the Obama agenda. I mean, Eric Holder, who was the Attorney General under Obama, was openly calling himself the wingman for President Obama at the same time he was being held in contempt by Congress. So it's hard to argue that there wasn't some sort of corruption happening at the DOJ in terms of helping to cover up whatever crimes may have been committed by the Obama administration. And as far as the FBI, I don't think the congressmen are wrong to point out the fact that James Comey had apparently pre-decided the outcome of the Hillary Clinton investigation. It's pretty obvious that they were allowing certain leeway to Hillary Clinton they wouldn't have allowed to anyone else. The most obvious example being the allowance of Cheryl Mills, Hillary's really hatchet person, to claim attorney-client privilege, allowing her in the room with Hillary during the interview, claiming she was her attorney when Cheryl Mills was intimately involved with the cleansing of Hillary Clinton's email server and all the rest of it.
I'm really glad you brought that up, because the relationship with Cheryl Mills is something that I've always found to be very concerning. Because, you know, does attorney-client privilege exist when you just know someone who's an attorney, or someone happens to be an attorney, yet they wear a different hat in their professional life with you? And, you know, part of the justification for the Michael Cohen hotel, home, and office raid was, well, he really doesn't have that many clients, so attorney-client privilege doesn't really exist. Well, Cheryl Mills was acting as Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, so why did they allow for attorney-client privilege there?
Yeah, this is a serious question. Andrew McCarthy at National Review raised it a year ago, and it really has not been answered, and it does show the discrepancy between the treatment. The question is, was the FBI and the DOJ, were they corrupt then, or are they corrupt now, or both? And it's possible that they were corrupt then and not corrupt now. And one of the problems now is that if you have Jeff Sessions, who I think is an honest attorney general, and if you have a new FBI director who I think is attempting to do the right thing, Chris Wray, and if they're doing the right thing now, does that look corrupt because they're not doing what they did before, right? Is the discrepancy the problem? In other words, if we thought that the Obama, DOJ, and FBI were corrupt, do people on the right now want the FBI and the DOJ to be tools of the Trump administration in the same way that they were tools of the Obama administration?
Yep, you're absolutely right. You cannot have it both ways. I mean, that is a natural contradiction that is playing itself out right now. And it's leading to the kind of chaos and the kind of turmoil that any time a decision is made, it is automatically shot down by one side as being wholly political. So how do we get back to the point where we don't have to revere these institutions? We don't have to unnaturally idealize them. But when can we actually trust them again?
I mean, honestly, I think that if the Trump administration, FBI, and DOJ are going to go after anybody, they should really be looking at people like Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch. I think that those would be the most obvious sources of corruption. As far as looking at past FBI behavior, I think investigations might be warranted. I'm not sure prosecutions are.
Do you think Comey's in trouble?
Again, I think that Comey, there are serious questions to be asked about James Comey. I mean, the fact that he was leaking material while denying that he was leaking material is obviously a serious problem. You know, that's been overlooked by the media in their attempts to paint him as some sort of white knight hero who's coming in to save the republic from Donald Trump.
No, he said that Andrew McCabe did the exact same thing and was called on it and fired for it. He condemned that. But he also did exactly what he's condemning. So, you know, does there need to be reciprocity? I don't know if it's going to happen. I love justice. Ben Shapiro, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
And thanks a lot.